Can you get a rhyme for me? I'm recording.
I can't think of anything around.
Hi, I'm Jesseline, and this is a video of surface area of prisms and cylinders. Toys in the background. Toys in the background. She's gonna come help us out every once in a while, maybe. So funny videos. Okay, so surface area. Surface area is the area on the outside of a figure. So on the outside of a figure, so like a 3D shape, like this remote. If we want to find the surface area, we have to find the area of all the sides and add them together. The good news is that there's formulas for these. And so you can use those formulas to help you find the surface area instead of finding the area of every different face and adding them up. So in this case, for prisms, the formula for a prism is pH plus 2B. So pH plus 2B, where P stands for the perimeter of the base, and the big B stands for area of base. And then obviously H stands for the height of the figure. So you see here we have pH plus 2B, where P is the perimeter of the base, B is the area of the base, and H is the height. So this is the formula for all prisms. So if and don't make fun of me because I'm not a very good drawer. So if I had a prism, let's say a rectangular prism, and all prisms are named after their base. So a rectangular prism, you're looking for the rectangle of the prism. So the base is a rectangle, obviously. So in this case, when we have a rectangular prism, I want to find the perimeter of the base, and then the height of the base, and then the area of the base as well. Not the height of the base, the height of the figure. So in this case, let's find P. Let's find the perimeter of the base. If I notice the base, and I'm going to color it in, the base is right there. So I'm coloring in the base, and it is a 4x6 rectangle. So if you want to redraw it, that rectangle, so you can know what the perimeter is, 4, 6, so 4, 6, 4, 6. So the perimeter is going to be 4 plus 4 plus 6 plus 6. And so that equals 20. So perimeter of that is 20, okay? Because all you do is add it up, and it's a rectangle, a 4x6 rectangle, 4 plus 4 plus 6 plus 6, okay? And then we want to find the area of the base, and we know area of a rectangle, you gotta have to know these. Area of a rectangle is just length times width. So 6 times 4, which is 24. And so now I have identified every variable in this formula. I know what the P is, I know what the H is 5, and I know what the B is 24. Okay, so now I just take this and substitute it into that formula. So the big P is 20 times the height, which is 5, plus 2 times the area of the base, which is 24. So I've just taken this formula up here, and I've plugged everything in that I know. The P is 20, H is 5, plus 2 is in the formula, and then the big B is 24. And I'm just going to solve it using order of operations. If you don't know how to do order of operations, go ahead and watch that video. So order of operations, when you do order of operations, you'll get 148 inches squared. And I didn't tell you at the beginning, but these are inches. I'll write it now. And surface area, since it's area, we know that area is measured in square units. So when I solve that, I get 148 inches squared. So that's how you do surface area of a prism. Let's do another one. Let's do a cube. A cube is a prism. So we're going to do a cube. Let me draw it. Again, not the best at drawing. Okay, So in this case, we have a cube and it's 4. So every side, if we know things about a cube, we know that it is the same the side all the way around. So we have 4. So I want to find P, and I want to find B, and I want to find H. Those are the 3 variables in my formula that I need to identify and find. So P is perimeter of the base. So again, if I want to draw it, I can. We have a square and it's 4 all the way around. So perimeter, if it's 4 all the way around, that's just 4 plus 4 plus 4 plus 4. We just add the distance all the way around, which would give me 16. And if the area of a square is just length times width, 4 times 4, 4 times 4, which is 16 as well. And then the height, it's a cube, so we know the height's 4 because everything's 4. Everything's the same for a cube. So now I'm going to take that and plug it into the formula. So P is 16 times H, which is 4, plus 2 times B, which is 16. And now I have everything plugged in, okay? Again, 16 for P, 4 for H, and 16 for B. I have everything plugged in. I just solved this using order of operations. So once I solve it, I get 96, and this was in meters. I keep forgetting to put the units, but this was in meters. So it'd be 96 meters squared is the surface area of this cube. Cool. So that's how you do rectangular and cubes. So now what if we have a triangular prism? It's still the same formula, but we know that a triangular prism is named after its base. So the base is going to be a triangle. So I'm gonna go ahead and, okay, so triangular prism, 5, 4, 3, and then this is 10. Okay, so we need to know P, B, and H. So in this case, here's our triangular prism. We'll find P, the perimeter of the triangle, perimeter of the base, which is a triangle, B, area of the base, which is a triangle, and then the height. If you want to know the height connects the 2 bases. So since the 2 bases are 10, we know that this is, since the 2 bases are triangles, we know that the height is 10 because that connects the 2 bases, okay? Sorry about my drawing, it's kind of bad. But so the height is 10. The perimeter of the triangle is going to be 4 plus 5 plus 3 because we just add up the distance around. 9, 10, 11, 12. So we have 12. And the area of the triangle, remember area of a triangle is base times height divided by 2. So that'd be 3 times 4 divided by 2. So that's 6. So, because the area, base times height, so 3 times 4 divided by 2 is 6. So now we have everything, and all we need to do is plug it into our formula like we always do. So surface area equals P, which is 12, times H, H is 10, plus 2 times B, which is 6. So I've plugged in everything right here, and now I'm just going to use order of operations to solve. Okay? And again, this is in meters, so everything''s in meters. So surface area is going to be 132 meters squared when I solve it. Okay, 132 meters squared. So that is how you find surface area of a triangular prism. So those are all the different types of prisms: rectangular prism, triangular prism, and a cube. Now we're going to talk about cylinders. We're going to find the surface area of cylinder. So the surface area of a cylinder, again, it's just a formula, and then you plug in the numbers. So the surface area of a cylinder is 2 pi r squared plus 2 pi r h. So if you're taking notes, here is the surface area of a cylinder, 2 pi r squared plus 2 pi r h. And you know we deal with pi when we're dealing with circles. So we're dealing with circles, so pi. And we're going to use 3.14 for pi. So let me draw my cylinder here. These are a little easier to draw than everything else. So we have my cylinder and we see that the diameter is 6 and the height is 10. So we're just gonna plug in everything that we know. So 2 pi, we know that, so we can just write 2 pi, and then it says r squared. R stands for radius. We see that we have the diameter is 6. You're gonna have to know that the radius is half the diameter. So if the diameter is 6, the radius would be 3, because 6 divided by 2 is 3. So I'm gonna plug in 3 for where it says r. So 3 squared plus 2 times pi times r, which is 3, times h, which is 10. So now I have everything plugged in, and all I do is solve it. I use PEMDAS, and so I have to do the order of operations. So I have to do exponents first. The parentheses are just showing multiplication. There's nothing within the parentheses. There's no operation. So 9. So I'm just continuing. I like to solve it without solving pi first, because sometimes your teachers actually might want you to keep it in terms of pi, which means that you're not going to multiply out by 3.15. So if you do that, that means you just don't multiply by the 3.14. So 2 times 3 squared is 9. So 2 times 9 is 18. And then over here we have 2 times 3 times 10. I did 3 times 10, which is 30, and then 30 times 2, which is 60. So I have 18 pi plus 60 pi. I can combine them since they both have a pi. So 78 pi. Your teacher actually might want you to keep it in terms of pi, and so that would be your answer, 78 pi. But if she doesn't, then you just go ahead and multiply 78 by 3.14. And then you would get 244.92 meters squared. Okay, which would be the surface area of that cylinder. So you just plug it in and simply solve. Okay, but remember, you have to follow order of operations. That is the video on surface area of prisms and cylinders. Thank you for watching.